The great thing that AutoSAR has given the entire industry is a common mechanism for talking about software and integration at the architecture level. 20 years ago, it was absolute chaos. Everybody did things totally differently. So you've got two kind of challenges in the automotive industry. You're building actually essentially a safety critical hard real-time system. It's essentially, it's got the constituent safety obligations of a plane, but it's got the mass market manufacturing of like a microwave oven or something. So it's the only industry where that scale and those safety and security obligations really come together. So it's all about being able to meet timing deadlines with absolute predictability. Things like emissions targets also require you to have things like correlated injection and spark timing. You can't be too far off in the time domain there, because otherwise you've then got an emissions problem, and then you're going to have your vehicles taken off the road. You're putting 4 window lift motors into a vehicle. You actually need to make that reasonably cheap. You're shipping 4 ECUs, and you want to reduce your manufacturing costs and your complete bill of materials. So that naturally impacts how powerful and how feature-rich a processor you can put in.
Absolutely. One of the first challenges that we see is that, of course, with integration. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So this is oftentimes we hear customers saying, hey, this integration is a big challenge when dealing with AutoSAR.
Essentially, it's the stuff that's got the sort of lowest customer visibility, but all of that stuff has to perform flawlessly. That becomes that entire software stack becomes the foundation on which you can actually deliver innovation. Nobody's going to see that, and nobody's going to pay for that. I mean, anything that's designed by committee will suffer from design by committee aspects. And actually, it's designed to solve lots of problems. It's often tempting to sort of bash AutoSAR, but you've got those problems anyway. But AutoSAR is the only thing that provides a complete, solid, secure foundation.
I mean, and also considering, a majority of our participants are getting started with AutoSAR, and that's another important requirement or constraint, if you will, to understand. You need to have these systems also being serviced in the field over 20 years. Yeah, and this is something which is not typical in consumer electronics. And I think the other good thing about introducing this technology with AutoSAR, of course, is that it has to comply with standards. And today we are in an industry which is heavily standards driven, and standards, because it is defining state of the art. Yeah, it helps us to also assess liability claims and so on. There are also OEMs who push for their specific OEM variants, and this is also something which we support. So let's see how can you save time with some of these technologies itself. Yeah. So the first one, of course, is there's more or less zero waiting time. When you start with this solution. So I guess the advantage then for you is that you can do this by yourself, and you don't have to wait around sipping on coffee or tea in order to wait for this software to be delivered to you, because you have the power to actually do this. And of course, we also have customers who are starting up. What this means, I guess, for the people who are trying to start up with AutoSAR projects, is that there's a whole bunch of memory considerations, right, that you need to take care of. But there's also a good data point for you to look at, how much of that is actually consumed by AutoSAR eventually.